Okay.
Alan's surgery was successful. He's resting and he'll be out on about Thursday.
Oh, good.
iPhone, could you please identify yourself? iPhone.
Hi, Bill.
That's new. That's a new announcement it makes.
I just want to get something for everyone. Hold on.
Drinks? How do you do that through a Zoom meeting?
Virtually.
Oh, virtual drink. All right.
Here's Sherman. William Tecumseh Sherman and his brother Hiram Ulysses Grant, who's not here. Okay, iPhone left. So
CCA team.
team. What's that?
Don't know.
Community Choice Aggregate Team. Oh, is that a late
Yeah.
notice to the, yeah. Did it not make, yep, it's there. Hi, Jeff and CCA. Okay. Oh, good evening, everybody. It is, oh, Kaya Rouse.
That's Gentry.
Got it. I figured that out. I knew his daughter was Kaya. And okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. It is the 24th of May. Welcome to our regular town board meeting, Town of Rhinebeck. Would everybody please stand and join me for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we have a couple of presentations. I'll go out of order. Rosie, I'm going to let you go first. This is Rosie, aka Sarah Rosenthal, who's the president of Culture Connect. And Rosie is joining us tonight to talk about, or to ask our permission for publicizing, honoring, celebrating Juneteenth at Town Hall. So thanks for joining us, Rosie.
Thank you all for having me. As Elizabeth said, I am the president of the Board of Culture Connect, and I hope you're all somewhat familiar with our little organization. We are, I think Josh definitely is, because he's got a kid applying to Madagascar. One of the things that we've been working on over the years is trying to create some more kind of cultural celebrations within the town. And we recently have 2 Black board members, and the whole organization thought that it would be a really good idea with this new state holiday, our newest state holiday, Juneteenth, that it would be a really nice idea to bring some attention to that. And one of the ways that we have been trying to do these cultural celebrations is to make sure that we are tapping into the community for whom this is like an original celebration, right? So we did a Lunar New Year celebration, and we coordinated with Chinese and Chinese American community members. So for Juneteenth, we wanted to be really sure that we were coordinating with some Black community members so that it was like an organic celebration.
Rosie, for the public, would you just explain what Juneteenth is?
Thank you. That's a great idea. So Juneteenth is celebrating the day, June 19th, 1865, which is the day almost 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, when Texas accepted the end of slavery, when it was announced in Texas. And that was the last state to announce and commemorate the end of slavery. So, and that came even 6 months after the 13th Amendment. So it was really, really late in the game.
Oh,
so
Texas, yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of it's sad and a celebration, right? Too bad it took that long in so many different ways. And then also it's a celebration of finally a point where the entire nation was on board.
Great.
So one of the ways that we would like to acknowledge the holiday this year is the middle school has agreed to do a few different art projects together, Buckley Middle School. And one of them is they would like to create the Juneteenth flag, which is a flag that was, what's the word, but it came about in 1997. And I can show you all a picture of that if you want, share the screen. And so they have a project where they are going to each seventh grade student will get a small piece of canvas. They'll sort of have a paint by number type of thing where each little piece of canvas is going to fit together and create the Juneteenth flag. And what we would like to do is display that out on the lawn of Town Hall as a way to, again, celebrate this new state holiday.
Wonderful. You're just asking our permission to use Town Hall lawn, which is great. This is a new state holiday. Plus, I'm happy to support June 13th. Do you have anything else you want to say to us?
I think the only thing that maybe I didn't put in the letter was just we would like permission to put like an artist statement and maybe an explanation about Juneteenth next to the flag so that anyone walking by can get context, because the flag doesn't say Juneteenth on it, it's just colors, it's just a visual. And so we thought it would be nice to have a waterproof artist statement explanation of Juneteenth next to it. And I don't have that wording finalized. Jean-Michel, who's on our board and is the owner of Megabrain, and James Ransom, who is a local and wonderful artist and author, they're working together on the copy for that kind of statement. And so
I'm happy to support that without, you're, certainly capable as Culture Connect to, I think, write an appropriate statement. So I'm going to go to tab 7, everybody. I will make, I'm sorry, 10, tab 10. Sorry, I'm very confused. Is there no resolution for this?
No.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2021-1112 to allow Culture Connect to post their Juneteenth commemoration at Town Hall on the lawn, along with an artist statement from June 11th through the 21st of June. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or questions from the board members?
Just simply, is it vertical? Is it slightly off of vertical? Is it left side, right side? How big? Just curious logistics wise.
Yes, good questions. It is, let me look at the dimensions Henry gave me. It should be 9.6. No, wait, 4 feet by 8 feet.
8 feet long and 4 feet high?
Yes.
And it's a rigid billboard?
It will be on a piece of plywood, so we'll need to figure out kind of how we stake that, but I think that should just be able to be 2 kind of stakes on either side to put in.
And you need the help of our maintenance department.
I think that would be great, just so it's coordinated and happens the way that the town needs it to happen.
Ed Roberts is our town board liaison, so if you'd reach out to him via email, he'll assist you with that.
I will.
Is there, I'm sorry, I neglected to say that, did we say publicly Alan isn't here because he's had surgery?
No.
Alan isn't here because he's had surgery, so it's just the 4 of us. Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Rosie, I want to thank you for bringing this forward. I think it's really important. It'll be really wonderful for our town to acknowledge this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. So please be in touch with Ed. Thank you for coming, and we'll look forward to hosting your commemoration of Juneteenth.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate your support.
Pleasure.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, next we have a presentation from Jeff Dombrowski of Jewel on our Community Choice Aggregate Project. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Take it away.
So here with a brief update, but highlighting action items that are on the plate for the town of Rhinebeck with regard to the Community Choice Aggregation Program. And you probably recall that this is the program that was enabled by New York State, which gives cities and towns and villages as I like to phrase it, a gift to their community members in the sense that they offer a simple, vetted, no commitment opportunity to take advantage of the good things that are happening in the energy marketplace as we transition the grid towards more renewables. And these programs, with more than 150, I think, communities to date passing the local laws in New York State to enable the exploration and potential launch of CCAs, are having very, very powerful impacts on that mix of fuel sources on the grid towards more renewables. So we've had, as you probably remember me telling you, a live program in the Hudson Valley that was originally 10 communities that ran from July 1st of 2019, and it is ending, the original contract is ending on June 30th of 2021, this year. We seamlessly went out to market with a new request for proposals with the agreement of 9 of those 10 communities to renew the process. And we are now going through that renewal process with letters being sent out to all 9 of the community members. So thousands and thousands of letters went out last week, and our phones have been ringing with people with questions. It has rates in that program that worked out very, very well. There is kind of a good problem to have here in New York State, where there is increasing demand for the relatively limited supply of renewables, such that the price of renewables has been going up. And we were concerned that we were not going to be able to deliver one of the basic promises of the program, that the buying club enabled by municipalities would be able to deliver a very competitive rate for 100% renewable electricity supply from New York State sources. In a nutshell, it really worked out. I can gladly go into the details of the rates, but it's all in basically the 6-cent ballpark.
Jeff, I'm going to interrupt. Can you give us bullet points? What are we looking at here?
Well, that's it. So there's a rate that's live, and the discussion on the plate right now is whether the town of Rhinebeck wants to join with the 9 communities that are renewing with the rates that they obtained through their request for proposal process. And again, very competitive rates. The non-renewable rate from Central Hudson is just a little bit below 6 cents. Our rates are a little bit above 6 rates for 100% renewable.
What is the rate?
The rate that we obtained for 100% renewable is 6.57 cents per kilowatt hour.
This
That's residential, right, Jeff?
That's residential. The commercial, there is a separation with commercial. It's 7.1 cents for commercial.
So just for the public, the CCA is a local law that we are in the process of considering adopting, which would opt all of our residents and commercial buildings into. You're already opted into Central Hudson, but we would be opting you into getting your power from 100% New York State renewable sources for a fraction of a penny more than what you're paying to Central Hudson. You could opt out if you want, but it would have to be up to you to take the action. And we are considering doing this because we're committed to reducing fossil fuels and lowering our carbon emission. Josh, did you?
Yeah, our next step with Jewel, and this is why Jeff is here for everybody to hear this, is to give them the go-ahead to send the opt-out letters. So that's why we wanted Jeff to come here, because we're sort of at the precipice of moving forward, and there's timing related to it and all sorts of other things. But go ahead, Ed.
I have a question. How does that play out with companies like Nexamp, which I'm a part of now?
What we're talking about right now is an electricity supply rate. Through that middle section of your Central Hudson details page, this is a rate by which you designate how and where and how much electricity is produced. Nexamp and other community solar projects, that is a situation parallel to this, whereby by becoming a subscriber to a local solar project, it could also be hydropower, but within Central Hudson territory, you help that developer get the subscribers they need. In return, you get a monetary credit. You don't claim the electricity, you don't claim the environmental benefit. You did allow the project to happen, so it's wonderful, it's fantastic, but it's not tied to how much electricity you use each month, as what we're talking about is.
Okay, so I can have both in a sense? Okay.
Yep.
Also, if you're a member of a community solar option, you will not be opted out of that for this. That's the only thing that would be exempt from the community choice.
Okay, thank you.
And there's, for maybe for a future conversation, let's put an asterisk on the fact that you can actually talk about community solar under the CCA enabling
Yes.
law, but not now.
Do we need a resolution for this, Josh? Are we asking?
There's a very specific thing that Jeff's asking for right now. That's why I wanted to bring it to the larger board for any questions. And is it resolution, Jeff, or it's just simply you need an email from us saying we're ready to move forward to the next
That
step?
needs a resolution we need a resolution to approve that. So,
Well, there's a timeline question too. There is, if you want to have an August 1st start date, as the town of Saugerties and town of Gardner, who are also joining, they're going to be joining with an August 1st start date. The 9 communities have a July 1st start date, but Saugerties and Gardner are joining with an August 1st start date, which means the opt-out, the welcome letters that get sent out with explaining the opt-outs for those communities will go out the middle of June. Rhinebeck could join at that timeline, but we would need to have the electricity supply agreement, which you guys have had since early May, signed by this Friday, which might be, that's up to you guys. If not, it's not an all or nothing. We could have a September 1st start date if you want more time.
I think we need a
more time.
September 1st start date, and I think we need that opt-out letter on our next agenda.
Very good.
Do you agree, Josh?
That makes sense.
Is there anything we need to approve tonight, or are we just talking about this?
Nothing needs to be approved, just for discussion purposes. It sounds like it's great. We've worked out the timeline. The other issue that we talked about is whether you want to offer anything in addition to the 100% renewable electricity supply rate.
So you're saying, do we want to do like a 50% renewable and 100?
Well, it's more of like a less than 20% renewable, what we call the standard rate, which mirrors what Central Hudson offers,
Right.
low teens, if that, renewables, and the 100% option. 8 of the 9 existing communities are doing both.
Let me
Red Hook's only doing one.
poll the board. The choice is, are we going to offer 100% renewable or 100% renewable and 20% renewable? Josh?
Mechanically, how does anybody understand that once they get it? It just seems like complexity on top of complexity.
I agree. Ed?
Yeah, I agree. It's not understandable. I'm not sure how you want to do that.
Chance?
Question.
Okay, I'm saying, oh, did you have a question?
Yes.
Okay,
The 6.5 per kilowatt hour, or roughly 6.5, that's
Yeah.
for the energy.
That is
that's
for
your
the
rate.
supply rate.
All right, if maybe you've just answered my question, but my question was, is there an additional charge by Central Hudson to deliver the energy that we're buying for 6.5 per kilowatt hour?
Yes, that 6.5 has to be added to the delivery rate, which is what Central Hudson makes money on. And that's typically more than the 6.5%. It's often 2/3, 1/3 for many people.
Josh,
Sometimes
if
it
an
gets close to
additional
half.
rate, is it more than what Central Hudson customers pay?
I think the question he was asking is there an additional rate charge?
And what I'm asking, is this additional rate charge also charged to Central Hudson customers?
Everyone, regardless of whether in the program or not, has the same delivery charges.
Thank you. So Chauncey, it's the same whether or not you're in the community choice or you're with Central Hudson.
Gotcha.
Does
That's
that
the
answer your
question.
question?
Yes.
Thank you for cutting through, Elizabeth.
We're sorry.
No, that's perfect.
My feeling, not to steer you guys, I've just been having meetings with Jewel and Josh and talking to the other supervisors, is if we're going to stand for promoting renewable energy, let's offer people 100%. If they don't want that and they want to save a fraction of a penny, let them opt out and stay with Central Hudson for the 20% renewable.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Fine.
There's your answer.
Excellent. Okay, great. I'll prepare the updated version of the electricity supply agreement for your review. And well, yeah, with the timeline moving towards the September 1st, there's less urgency, but I'll be following up very quickly with the next steps.
Yeah, we will. Will you also prepare a resolution for our adoption, or do we need to prepare that?
It's only a matter, if you would only need a resolution if you need to be empowered to sign the
I
electricity.
do.
supply
I need.
agreement.
I need a resolution to be empowered to sign on behalf of the board.
And I can share examples of those resolutions from other communities.
Great.
Thanks.
So Josh, you'll follow up and thanks. Great, thank you. Any questions or comments from board members or anybody?
Jeff, thanks for your patience.
Oh my God, thank you guys. This is great. I'm excited to work with you guys.
Yeah, all right, well, we're slow, but we're getting there. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, all.
Sure. I have a couple of announcements. Camp registration and pool registration is now live on MyRec. This year, because of still the lingering pandemic and its effects, we are at 50% capacity. So the pool and camps will be for Rhinebeck town residents, town and village residents only. The pool is going to open on the 19th of June, a little later, same time when Red Hook is opening their pool, and we will have 6 camp sessions. So please check Rhinebeck, Town of Rhinebeck and MyRec pages for more information. Does anybody else have any announcements or? Okay, moving along. Give me a second. Tab 1, Resolution 2021-101, a contract with the Chazen Companies for landfill reporting and sampling. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Ed. May I have a second?
Okay.
Josh?
Yes.
Thanks. Is there any discussion or any questions? This is for Chazen to monitor our water quality and output of the landfill, our closed
Yearly thing we do.
per the DEC. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Resolution 2021-102 for the appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm going to not bring that forward, neither bring it forward nor table it. I think the board members have expressed that they'd like a chance to meet with the applicant. So I'm suggesting that Chauncey and Josh reach out and schedule a Zoom interview and we reconvene. I think we have to go really respect the process that all appointments to statutory boards need to be vetted by town board members to make sure that we're in alignment. And I know that this person wants to, is probably great, and the Zoning Board of Appeals would like for him to serve. It's at our pleasure and per our appointment. So I'd like the chance for town board members to vet. So let's just leave this aside if everyone's in agreement. And Chauncey and Josh, I'll leave it to you two to reach out and set up a Zoom appointment. No more than 2 people at once. Otherwise we have a quorum and we have to notice it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So Ed, we'll have to put this back on the agenda after Chauncey and Josh and I get in touch with you.
Okay.
Item number 3, Resolution 2021-103, purchase of a laptop for the Recreation Director. May I have a motion?
So move.
Thanks, Chauncey. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Josh. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. I need a motion for Resolution 2021-104, Summer 2021 Recreation Hires.
Motion.
Thanks, Josh. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Ed. Any discussions? Questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Passes unanimously. Resolution 2021-105, Recreation Fee Schedule for 2021. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thanks, Chauncey. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Josh. For the public, we are not doing seasonal passes this year because we don't know what's going to happen with COVID. So we are only doing day passes and they are only for Rhinebeck residents. Even if you have a Rhinebeck address, you have to be in the town of Rhinebeck. Some people have a Rhinebeck mailing address, but they're in Clinton or Red Hook or Milan. So these are for Rhinebeck residents only. Any further discussion? Any questions?
It's the same. It's the same rates as last year, right? There's
No, they went up $1. And I think we dropped the after 4 or after 5 p.m. We are subsidizing the pool this year and camp because of the reduced capacity and the additional cleaning needed. Any other questions or comments?
Hopefully we don't run out of chlorine.
Well, there's a shortage. Yeah, there's a shortage of chlorine worldwide. So hopefully we don't. And that's wouldn't be funny. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's a unanimous passing. Thank you. Resolution 2021-106, grant application to the New York State Department of Transportation under the New York Bridge 2021 program for the replacement of the Parsonage Street Bridge. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Ed. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Josh. Even those bridges in the villages can't own bridges, so our town highway department is responsible for it. So we are applying for a grant. It's a pretty expensive endeavor, but it's going to need to be done at some point. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. I will make a motion for resolution 2021-107 for our abstracts, 39 checks totaling $68,901.85. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Are there any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. I will make a motion for a resolution 2021-108 for our capital projects abstracts, 2 checks totaling $41,800.99. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Passes unanimously. I need a motion for resolution 2021-109, advertising for temporary part-time maintenance labor.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes.
Second is Josh.
Yep.
Ed, what is this position for?
This is for a part-time laborer, kind of replacing Ian Cooper, who left us. If we can get somebody like him to run through Labor Day, that would be great.
Great. So it would be help around the
Yes.
pool and the
Rec park area, can do odd jobs, lots of things to do.
Great. Did Ian clean the bathrooms last year?
I'm not sure about that part. I'll ask Bobby.
Thank you. Is there any
Yep.
further discussion? We have this budgeted, by the way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I checked.
Unfulfilled. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. I have a couple of new business items to bring up from the floor. I have, geez, I actually have 3. Sorry. Sorry, I have 2. Resolution 2021-110 to hire a part-time secretary to the highway superintendent for up to 25 hours a week and an hourly salary of $17 beginning tomorrow. And this is to replace our secretary who is having a baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You want a motion?
I think I'll make the motion. May I have a second?
Second that.
Thanks, Ed. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. I will make a motion for resolution 2021-111, and this is to hire Ann Weaver of council to our special prosecutor Carrie Yamashita's office to cover Carrie Yamashita for one time only on her court appearance tomorrow, May 26th, before Judge Sanchez at a rate of $100 per hour. And Ms. Weaver is already approved by the county district attorney. So this is just a one-time appointment for a one-time court date.
Excuse me, Elizabeth, I think you said tomorrow, the 26th, but tomorrow's the
25th, yeah. Okay, so the other tomorrow, the tomorrow after tomorrow, Wednesday, the 26th.
Okay.
Thanks, Chauncey. Do you guys have any? I motion that. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. We have our county legislator, Brennan Carney here, who's going to bring us up to date. And then I have two more things I want to talk about after that. So hi, Brennan. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me, everybody. Just wanted to give you a quick update on some things that I'm focusing on at the county level for Rhinebeck. As you know, the county will be receiving American Rescue Plan dollars. I submitted a resolution with some colleagues requesting that we form a working group, a task force to look at where we most need to spend those dollars. Ulster has formed a task force, and I think it would be extremely helpful for us to do that in Dutchess County. Of course, I recommend, I would appreciate anyone's comments and thoughts on this issue as well. But it's a significant opportunity for the county, and we want to use those dollars carefully. Also wanted to let anyone know who is interested that the county sheriff's office is beginning its recruitment efforts for the September exam. And so recruitment packets are now available. You can contact me directly if you'd like one. My cell phone number is 646-773-1905, or find me on Facebook, and I would be happy to direct you to that.
And your email address, Brennan.
Yep, bcarney@dutchessny.gov. So definitely, please, if you'd like information on that, I'd be happy to help with that. Members of my caucus have joined the COVID Community Corps, which is just another organization trying to get the word out there with messaging. And I submitted a resolution this month to request that empty advertising spaces on our county buses carry vaccination messages. We had an apparent reduction in advertising during COVID. And instead of having those buses driving around with an advertise here sign, we thought we might be able to share messages with the community. And then the one other thing that's going on that's sort of big in the county, not as big perhaps for Rhinebeck residents, but I think close to our hearts, the Poughkeepsie Common Council approved the transfer of the former YMCA property, which the county and the city are working very hard to have become a new youth and community center. So this
Finally.
is the first, yes, this is the first important step. It would be transformative, I think, for a lot of the communities in Poughkeepsie. And so it will now come to us in the legislature for discussion and vote in June and July. But yep, well, those are sort of the big things. If I can be of help to anyone, please let me know. As always, I'd love to hear from anyone.
And I would like to talk to you about the American Rescue Plan. We have been working on it as supervisors and mayors in the county.
Yep.
We've done, Shelley and I, bookkeeper to the supervisor. So
Yes.
it doesn't seem like there's a lot we can recoup. Oddly, we didn't spend a lot of money during COVID. So whatever.
Well, I'd love to touch base with you about that, and maybe also hear what else you heard from mayors and supervisors. I know my colleagues are working hard to reach out to people on the local levels to get their thoughts about what they may need as we all sort of learn our way through. And if anyone's interested in reading it, Robin Lois, our Dutchess County Comptroller, issued a very interesting report on what that money could mean for us. So, but yes, I'd love to touch base and hear what the sort of local take on it is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, folks.
Always good to have you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Brandon.
Take care.
Good night.
Okay. Couple of new things. One might require a resolution, so I'll go with that first. I was contacted today at about 4 o'clock by a location scout from HBO. HBO is filming on private property at the Wellwind Farm on June 8th from 3 to 9 p.m. The production crew is working with the state troopers to control traffic because they need to it's a period piece. They're going to need to pan across the road and not have any cars visible. The state troopers have requested a letter from the town board giving the production company permission to work with the state troopers to intermittently control traffic on the State Road 308 while they film at the World of Wellwyn at 1190 NY Route 308 in Rhinebeck on June 8th from approximately 3 to 9 p.m. So they're asking for our permission to allow them to control traffic on a state road. Are you guys okay with that?
Does it make any
That's,
sense?
that's a Tuesday. I am.
Okay, so I'd like to put a motion forward, and this will be resolution 2021-113 to allow me to sign a letter in support of Random Productions LLC and HBO in the production of The White House Plumbers to work with the New York State Troopers to intermittently control traffic on State Route 308 while they film on private property at Wellwyn on 119 Route 308 in Rhinebeck on June 8th from 3 to 9 p.m. May I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chauncey. Is there any questions or any concerns? Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. John, I'll have this for you tomorrow. I'll give you the backup for it, and I'll write the letter and sign it. Interestingly, I've had 3 requests today about filming in Rhinebeck. So all on private property and 2 with road control, one on a state road and 2 on county. So I referred the county road to the county DPW. 2 other things I have to talk about, and then I don't know if you guys have anything. Our town maintenance supervisor, Bob Fitzpatrick, did a radon test in the lower level of town hall, and the radon was quite high in the building department area and low in other areas. I would like to have us hire a home inspector to conduct the test. You know, there's protocol from how you place them and where you place them, and also do a mold inspection or test. We've had complaints of people of being congested. And if we're going to mitigate radon downstairs, which could be, you know, a couple of $1,000s, not huge, but it could be costly, I'd like to repeat the test and have a home inspector do that. So I just wanted to bring that up. And if you guys are okay with it, I'll put it on the next agenda.
I've got some information on that. Okay,
Yep.
I contacted Dan Driscoll.
The Rhinebeck resident, yep.
He doesn't do that. So
He doesn't do radon tests?
No, he referred me to another fellow who said, after I called him, no, I don't do commercial buildings. So
Oh, it's
there
commercial.
was a
building.
third phone call. So then I finally got somebody. Bobby and I are going to meet with him just to show him downstairs tomorrow what it looks like. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're kind of ready. And mold guy's totally different.
How is mold tested? Is there a test or is it visual?
It's first he said you have to have it assessed and then you have to have it remediated. So
Is it a visual test or is there an air test?
I'm not sure. I haven't gotten to them all. I'm working on the radon.
All right, great. So you're
Okay.
working on that, Ed.
I got
Thank
that.
you. Just wanted to bring you all up to date about that. I've let all the staff know. I know I asked you to do that via email, Ed, but because I'm there all day long, I told
That's
them
okay, that's
immediately.
We'll start
Garden-
tomorrow and I'll give you the information once we find out. All right.
Thank you. Garden Way, you guys know, and for the public, that Garden Way is the main thoroughfare, the gardens, phase 1 through 3, plus the clubhouse. In the original offering, it was always stated, it was always the plan to turn it over to the town as a public road. I have been getting quite a bit of email, phone calls from residents saying, we don't want you to have the road at 35 miles per hour. This, for the public, there are 2 choices. Either the gardens can keep Garden Way as a private road and they can do whatever they want with the speed limit and the stop signs, or we could take it over, which I believe we've said we're happy to do, but it will have to follow New York State highway law and Department of Transportation, which says that that road must be at 35 miles an hour, and the stop signs have to go away, at least on Garden Way, not the streets coming into it. The other thing is that the Gardens wants to put a sidewalk in, which I said, my feeling was fine, go ahead. We're not going to pay for it, but if you want to pay for it and maintain it, we'll refer it to our attorney to see what that means if the sidewalks are within our right of way. I think we need to have a Zoom meeting, at least two of us and Warren, with the three presidents of the three phases and of the Homeowners Association and the president of the clubhouse, to make sure that all the residents are properly notified of what the ramifications are of turning this over to the town and that they're on board with it. And I would like to mandate that the, development company write a letter to them and get a meeting together for us, and that there's some kind of vote. I'm happy to take it over, happy to leave it private. I want the residents to tell us what they want. If it's more important to them that it stay at 15 or 20 miles per hour and it not be a public road, I'm happy to listen to that. So I just wanted to bring it up and see if you guys were okay with us having a meeting with them and discussing the ramifications.
I certainly am. I think that's
Sidewalk.
the right way to do it.
Sidewalk where, Elizabeth? Along Garden Way?
Yes, probably within the town's right of way. I said that I didn't think we would fund it, and I knew we wouldn't maintain it. We're only interested in maintaining the road. That's what we had previously discussed. But the manager of the garden said that this was a homeowner's idea and they would pay for it to be installed and maintained. So there's two issues: the installation of a sidewalk at their expense and making sure that all the residents know what the ramifications are of having this become a town road. And it's not capricious, it's rooted in law. Highway law says it has to be 35 miles per hour.
Okay.
Who wants to do this meeting with me? Who's highway liaison?
I am now, and I'm so friendly with all the gardens groups that.
Would you like, Chance, you want to do it instead of me?
No,
Thanks.
I'll be
Okay,
happy to do it, but I think you should. You're the
Thank you.
supervisor.
All right, so I get all the fun. I have an email ready to go to the 4 presidents and the managing director, company guy, and Warren should be on it, and our highway superintendent, Bob Wyant. So I'll send that out and get a date. I just want to make sure that the residents tell us what they want.
Makes sense.
Okay. Anything else? Any other public comment on non-agenda items?
I believe we have one, but he may have just, there he is.
How's everybody doing?
Gentry Rouse, how are you? Long time no see.
Long time. I hope everybody's well and doing well and whatnot. I appreciate everybody letting me jump on here quickly. I texted Josh quickly before.
Always open to the public, always open for comment.
Yeah, I didn't really know what the process was. I guess I just wanted to kind of connect. Obviously, we all know that Rhinebeck's becoming more and more of a hot spot. The traffic continues to swell in a lot of different ways. The roads kind of keep deteriorating due to that traffic versus
roads deteriorating. I'm going to take exception with that. I think our town roads are some of the best in the county.
I don't agree with that, but that's okay. I actually quite disagree with that. I know Columbia County has different roads than Dutchess, but Columbia County, I cycle all the roads in this town.
Are you talking about town roads or county roads or state roads or village roads?
I don't differentiate between them, so
Well,
you may know.
That's the problem,
Oh,
and I'm going to go back
okay.
and say that our town roads are in excellent shape, and that's our purview, our town roads.
So the town roads, maybe, I don't know which ones are the town roads, but roads in general in the surrounding areas are a mess. But that's not, and it's because we continue to see more and more population growth and moving to this area, and we continue to see more and more traffic. So I'm just here just to kind of get a sense of what we're doing as a comprehensive motive to figure out. I mean, people fly around here. I mean, I'm a cyclist. I'm on the road all the time. Josh knows this. He is a cyclist too.
I used to know it.
Yeah, I know, but it just seems that there's continuous more and more traffic, and a lot of like the main roads to the town roads or the village roads or whatever roads they are. Some of them are based on a 1950s to 60s entryway, no 90s. 90s need to be implemented, 90-degree turns need to be implemented. If you go up to River Road, that is one dangerous.
That's a county road.
So let me say it this way. Elizabeth, I don't know what's a county road. I don't know.
When
what
I
is a
told you
town
that
road.
our town roads were in good shape, you disagreed. And I'm making the point again that there are town roads, there are county roads, there are state roads, and there are village roads. Our purview are the town roads. If you're asking us as a town board to get involved, to lobby the county or the state or the village about their roads, I'm happy to do that, but you're going to have to be specific. And I'm just going to interrupt one other
question
time.
to you, well, really fast before you go on, because you're coming a little aggressive at me, and I don't appreciate it, Elizabeth. Honestly, I'm here to open a dialogue and a conversation about something.
I realize I'm being aggressive.
Hold on. I have the floor as a, and all you've done is come at me, and I just simply am saying, hey, you all know, everybody knows that this continues to be an increase in traffic and all these things. And all you did was say, that's not our problem.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said our town roads are great. I don't know what you're talking about, Jen.
I called you out on a misquote.
Well, you can call me out on a misquote that you know I don't know anything about which
Gentry,
road
can
is a
you
town
please
road.
ask us what, I don't want to argue with you.
Well, you
What are you
but you
asking
came
us?
after me.
What are you asking us to do?
I'm trying to understand if the town, being the first layer between the county and the village, it seems based on how roads are constructed or delegated under purview, if you want me to sort of come at it from a perspective that I don't know anything about. You do, you're the expert. What are we doing to make sure that as the town grows, you just heard about a town road being overtaken in Garden Road 35. My daughter lives in the Garden Way as well. I would never want to see a road 35 miles per hour through that. So it clearly is something that I just heard 2 to 3 things about roads. There's 3 crews coming out, right? Film crews. There's a road that wants to turn 35. So what I said actually parallels to the conversation I was trying to bring up. And Elizabeth, in all respect, you kind of came after me. And it wasn't so much about, well, our town roads are the greatest. I don't know whose roads they are, but anybody will agree on this call. Town roads leading into town versus town roads versus village roads. There's a lot of roads that are a mess. Look at River Road. I know they're doing a great job at fixing it. That's all I was coming here to say is,
fair enough.
We all know that the town's growing. We all know the village is growing. It takes 30 minutes to get through the village on a weekend sometimes. That's kind of exaggerating, but you know what I mean. That's all I was trying to come in here and say. A lot of these roads, like with the exits and entrance, and people fly around here. That's it.
So I'll say 3 things. I will apologize for getting aggressive. I did get my back up because we are committed. We have been funding roads at double the pace of what we're supposed to be replacing roads at in the town of Rhinebeck. We have spent an enormous amount of money because we have it to replace our infrastructure. We are committed to that. And our town roads, I will repeat again, are excellent. Secondly, we have an elected highway superintendent who it's his purview for the roads. We fund only. So a lot of this needs to be taken up with our highway superintendent. And thirdly, there is a distinction between different roads, and we have no oversight over the county, the state, or the village roads, although our crews do help the village pave. And I will say that the village has, with our help, paved more roads under Mayor Bassett's tenure than any recent what's the word I'm looking for?
Administration.
Thank you. Thirdly, I know none of us want to see the Garden Way at 35 miles an hour, but unfortunately, that's what state law dictates. So that's what people need to understand. We can't say, oh, there are three types of roads. I think it's a school zone, a thoroughfare, I'm not clear. And the state dictates what the speed limit has to be. That's the whole thing about Garden Way Gentry, that if we take it over, it will have to be 35 miles an hour. I would love my rural road, Upper Hook and Lower Hook, to be at 25 or 30. Everyone on Pell's Road, I get this all the time. We can't do it unless there's a change of state legislation. But again, we are the town board, the legislative board of the town, and we have a highway superintendent. I will agree that we're growing. We've seen it with the increase in our share of taxes for mortgage taxes. We'll see what the census numbers say, but who knows, how accurate that is, because we didn't have a full count. We can see anecdotally that there are a lot of people up here. There are a lot of Airbnbs. There's a lot of traffic. No doubt we are a magnet. No doubt there's more traffic. For our part, as the budget officer, we have been dedicating more and more funds to replace, to fix, and to modernize roads. So I did get my backup when I felt that our roads were unfairly criticized. And I will agree that there needs to be more attention, but I would have you take that up with our highway superintendent. And once again, I am going to say that our town roads are in pretty good shape.
Okay, so I don't know what town roads are versus village roads, where they delineate and don't. I'm just saying, as the town, which seems to be the buffer between the externalization of the environment here and leading into the village, I can kind of distinctly understand the village. It's, pretty much easier. The town is much more difficult, and I know that county roads must go through the town or whatnot. So maybe it's a county thing. Maybe it's with the legislator that was on the call earlier. I'm just saying, I've noticed, everybody's noticed, an increase in traffic. There's a lot of dangerous intersections now due to the increase in traffic. That's all. I'm just trying to get abreast and ahead of this or understand it, because the problems are only going to grow when it comes to traffic and the capacity. I mean, the village itself, which is not a town thing, I get it. But ultimately, we've basically taken all the parking away, put a bunch of people walking around, and you and I both know that this is just going to continue to be more and more of issues that will arise until, it becomes more serious. So that's all I was here, just to try to understand if there was a comprehensive plan of another subdivision goes in, that's more, capacity. So that's it. I can talk to the town
Highway superintendent.
highway supervisor and have a conversation with him or her, and then go from there.
If there's a list of roads you're concerned with, it would be great if you could, or intersections, if you could identify them and let us know. We can certainly tell you whose purview they are.
Okay.
Typically, any new developments would require a traffic study, something of a certain size. The planning board would require a traffic study. Or
Have you guys had any come your way?
We're doing have we had for a
Any
subdivision?
subdivisions or anything, of that nature?
That would be before the planning board. We don't approve subdivisions.
No, I know, but have you seen any come through?
Again, we wouldn't necessarily see them.
Does the planning board talk to the town board, or are you guys siloed?
I wouldn't say siloed. We're separate. We fund them. I pay attention to their agenda. Who's the liaison to Alan is now. We are separate.
Okay.
They're a separate statutory board. I know that there is a potential large, Brennan, I see your hand and I'll get to you. There's a potentially very large and impactful development going in at Grasmere. Rugies came to us for a change of zoning law to move all of their auto repair to the Stamp property, which is triggering a traffic study on 999, guys, or
9G,
9G.
9 and 9G maybe.
Grasmere will need a traffic study on 9, I think, and Mill Road. I am not aware of any other major developments, but or subdivisions, but there is a lot of building going on.
That's it. That's that's all I was here, just to like sort of learn, maybe get involved, try to understand what we're gonna do. That's all.
Well, we have a comprehensive plan and we have zoning in place that allows for growth. So, you know, one thing you can do is, you know, pay attention to the planning board and see what comes up. A lot of people have some of these projects on their radar, and you can get involved that way. If you have specific complaints about town roads, you can certainly go to our highway superintendent and copy us, and we will make sure that anything under our purview is as good as it can be. We will not shy away from funding fixes or proper maintenance of our roads.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Now we have, and I did get my backup because I felt you were criticizing town roads. I understand now that you didn't know the difference, so I apologize.
Yeah, I kind of think of it as layers, right? The village, the town, the county, but clearly
They're all separate.
It's like, you know,
So-
they travel through each other. I get it. I didn't know, you know,
Again,
I
I
would never be
apologize.
able to delineate what's a county or a town road unless someone educated me for a moment.
Brennan had something, I think, for you.
Brennan, yep, Brennan, our county
Hey.
legislator is here to talk to you about our county roads.
Yeah, there
Well,
you
that's
go.
what I was going to say. Since I'm here and I was listening quietly, but here's my face again. I'm happy to talk to you about any, you know, there are a couple of big ones, River Road, Slate Quarry Road. You'll see them marked with a number usually and a CR for County Road. So if any of those,
Primrose
if there are any
Hill is
trouble
kind of
spots,
Morton Road, Mill Road.
yep,
And I will say, Brennan, a lot of our county roads are not in great shape. You
Yep.
know, we have been lobbying the county DPW to fix the mess on South Mill Road where it's
I know.
crumbling up right in front of Vandenberg Cove.
They gave us such a resounding no when I
No,
reviewed.
basically like,
I
too
know.
bad, so sad,
I know.
you know.
Yep.
So
They
we
did
don't,
it. They did a traffic study, and when they found out that there are not many people traveling it,
they'll just let it crumble.
they're like, no
Yeah.
way.
Slate Quarry Road had one of the highest accident rates of any county road in, you know, our town. We've been
Yes.
working on that for years. Now with Brennan, she's taken over. There's great fixes to that. River Road needs attention.
No, Slate Quarry's been a pretty successful change recently. So again, if there are other ones that we want to work on together, let's do it. I mean, I don't always bat 1,000. Like I said, I got a resounding no on Mill Road, but Slate Quarry's an improvement. I mean, it's still a scary road to drive, and I share your concerns. I had a conversation about some roads in Clinton the other day, which is part of my district, about understanding the speed limits. And it's exactly as Elizabeth says, it's very frustrating. You know, I live on Ackerd Hook. I'd love a lower speed limit too. And we don't qualify for it under state law. So, but please let me know, Gentry, if there's anything I can do, I'd be happy to look into it for you.
You know, I will say one thing else. I have been, you know, when we repaved Pell's Road a couple of years ago, people on that road were advocating that we let it crumble so that no one would drive
No one
on
would
it.
go on it.
And they were basically threatening that we paved it. But anyway, we got over that hump and we did do an oil and stone topping to it. But one thing that came out of that proactively was coming up with a rural roads plan. And our rural roads are identified in our comprehensive plan. I think there's a couple that could be added to that list. And do we do speed humps? and I've tried with the state, to lobby to get, it would be great to have 30-mile-an-hour roads throughout the town. I don't see it happening.
No,
rural
and
roads
I'm glad that it's been discussed. It's, it's gonna keep coming up, and that's just kind of what I'm thinking and feeling. And as I look around, and, and as a cyclist who I am on the roads every day, I take caution. I notice all the roads. That's just by nature. But, one of the main ones is, it's funny, I know I'm on all the roads, but you couldn't tell you a road name, but I know where I'm going. The road coming from the bridge and, River Road, which I do know, the left there, just seems to be when you come from River Road left into.
You talking about Hook?
Yeah, that's the one.
No, that's Upper Hook.
I'm sorry, I think Elizabeth knows that road.
I'm on the corner of Upper Hook, Hook, and Lower Hook, the Hook.
Well, I'm just saying that on and off, it's just, it's super, super dangerous.
You can't get out of Upper Hook or Lower Hook onto River Road at certain times of the day.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You can't.
People are using Hook Road and Upper and Lower Hook as cut-throughs. I'm well aware. I've seen the increase here.
Yeah. And I guess that's the conversation I'm trying to
really, it's worthwhile to think about a conversation about a comprehensive rural road plan with speed humps and maybe turning some roads one way or no through traffic, or getting roads to be closed during the fair or sheep and wool. There was a 3-hour backup on Upper Hook Road 2 years ago during sheep and wool because folks were trying to get to the bridge. Yeah, that's the price we're paying for being popular. No easy answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time at least listening. Maybe I'll try to pay attention more to certain aspects that.
Have you heard of this thing? It's called Peloton.
Josh doesn't want anyone to leave the house and go outside.
Right. Stay home.
And
let me ask you a question. What about River Road on Bard? How did they end up getting speed bumps?
Part of the Empire
State Trail. I'm sorry, what Josh?
Yeah.
It's a school zone. I think they're a school zone.
I thought it was part of the Empire Trail.
Well, there's the two things, the Empire State Trail that got put in without any input from local governments. Thank you, Governor. That mandated the speed humps and the chevrons and the markings, but that's only from, that side of River Road. We have a couple of 100 feet in the town, and then it goes through Bard. Bard is, I believe, a school zone number 1, and number 2, the Empire State Trail goes through there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time and at least the dialogue, my goal really is just to sort of learn and listen. And again, I apologize if I came off as I wasn't saying anything bad about the town roads.
No, I understand that now. And
around everything going on as the traffic continues to find its ventricles.
This is worthwhile, and maybe it is time for us to start talking about a rural road plan, and what can we do about it, and can we lobby to, and I can connect you via email to the 2 Pell's Road residents who wanted to put this forward. It could be cost prohibitive. Speed bumps need to be engineered, and not speed bumps, plateaus, which is what they have for the trail. I think, are they 6 feet wide, and there's specs for them, how they edge up and plateau. That calms traffic a lot. But again, the engineering's expensive, the installation's expensive, and the roads become more expensive to maintain. But maybe that's something we're going to have to look at as we get more populated. Maybe,
And my sense too is, like, in my mind, I was thinking an easy thing, but again, it's not an easy thing. Can you put the speed limit lower a little bit further out of town. I mean, you come into 308 and I don't even like to walk across 308 by the gas station. I don't know, what is it? I used to live on that road. I don't even know. There's the people come in and they're
Are you
flying.
talking about
East,
off Route
Yes,
9?
East Market, that's it, yes, yeah.
Yes, it's people fly.
Fly.
And then they come into the town village and then it's like, they kind of slow down. It depends on their style, but otherwise they'll keep going.
We have really, one of the things we have is more patrols, which we have speed patrols
I have
and ticket
seen them.
writing,
Yeah, I've
but
seen
it doesn't seem to be a deterrent.
No.
so on the most basic level, Gentry, if you have a moment, I'd be happy to take you down to the highway department. You can see the map and then you can understand more specifically what we have to deal with as a town.
Okay. Well, I will take you up on that. Hopefully we can ride our bikes there.
That's about all I got in me.
Thanks for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the possible appointment of a person to a board, to the work history of a specific employee, and a replacement for another employee. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Freddie, would you put us in the room? I'm going to take a moment of personal privilege. I'll be right back.
Muted. You're both muted. Let's-
Deputy Dog, thank you for stepping in. Ironic that the one meeting our clerk has to leave early for, we run long on, but thank you. We're out of executive session. We're not taking any action. Is there any other comment from anyone or questions from the town board?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Good night.
Night.